Welcome to City League Sports, the show where we show love for all things Columbus City League athletics. That's the topic of all of our shows. Today we have two of the best hands that the City League has ever seen in the past 20 years. Yes, I said hands, folks, hands. We have former Walnut Ridge athletes Ernie and Rob Wheelwright in the studio. I'm your host, Dr. Vince Clarino, and I am grateful to take us on today's storyline. Let's get into it, guys. Rob, Ernie, what's up? How y'all doing today, man? Ernie, we'll go with the elder statesman first. Ernie, say what's up to everybody.
What's going on? What's going on, Columbus?
Certainly. Hey, look, and I want to share for those that don't know the Wheelwrights, I shared with you as Ernie and Rob. They're not twins, but they look like twins, folks. These two dudes actually are a couple years apart. But if you see one of them out and you say, hey, Ernie to Rob, or hey, you say the vice versa, they'll both respond. They get it. Rob, say what's up to everybody.
Hey, how everybody doing?
Hey, look, these dudes talk way more than this, everybody. We're going to loosen them up because they're smiling and they talk more than what they're showing on their initial, hey, hello, what's up? These are two of my favorite guys. When this show was first shared with me and they said, hey, man, we're going to have Ernie and Rob on, I was extremely excited, man. I love you dudes. I've known y'all forever, man. And, so like, we'll start with the connection, right? So, I've obviously known your brother, your older brother, for I don't know how long. I don't remember a time in my life not knowing Mike. You know what I mean? Like, I've known Mike forever, even though we were on different sides of the city. I've just known Mike forever, right? Mm-hmm. And then meeting you guys around that middle school type of time frame, and then seeing you show up at Walnut Ridge. Ernie, we'll start with you, man. So, like, when you look back, Walnut Ridge, your experience. What was it like, man? How was that time period for you when you were there, Scott, at Walnut Ridge?
Oh, man, it was amazing, man. And a lot of people don't know, but I actually started out as a 76ers for 2 weeks.
Oh, man, don't say that. Yeah. Don't say that. Very.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna let the cat out the bag.
Man.
For 2 weeks.
Okay.
For 2 weeks, I went to Independence. I wasn't playing basketball. I mean, I wasn't playing football, man. I thought I was going to be a basketball player. Okay. That was my love. It was my passion. Don't get me wrong. I love football. Right. But, I used to play for the Southeast Bulldogs Little League. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those guys went to Independence. Okay. And so, when I started high school, that's where I was going to go. I went there for 2 weeks and I hated it every day. Oh, wow. Okay. Didn't like it. Okay. Just wasn't for you. At all. Yeah. It wasn't for me. Like I tell a lot of people, like, your high school is your DNA. It's where you from. Yeah. I just didn't feel it. Pops reached out to the head coach. I forget the coach name at the time. He never returned Dad's phone call for me to go try out for the football team. And within the next week, I was at Walnut Ridge.
There you go.
And first day was amazing walking through them halls. Like, I felt home. And
felt at home.
The crazy part is first day we walked into the doors. The first person I seen was AA. Yeah. Battles. Remember Battles? Yeah, I remember Battles. I played Little League with him, and it was like I knew this was where I was supposed to be. Certainly.
So to give everybody, right, and it's interesting because I didn't know that part. I didn't know that part of your story, right? Yeah. And so it's interesting to hear because so for those listeners that are first time hearing this about me, I'm a former classroom teacher. Taught at Walnut Ridge. I'm a graduate of Walnut Ridge as well. And I can remember you walking through the hallways as well, right? As a young, scrawny 14-year-old, right? Little guy. And I get it, man. Like you said, you wanted to hoop. So, but like I can remember you and the rest of your class coming through. You guys were a good bunch. I remember you in class, man, as a guy that just a young guy, man, full of life and full of energy. So before we get too deep in that, and we'll keep it going, but Rob, let's hear from you, man, a little bit about, your experience, Walnut Ridge, older brother who balled out there, right? So I remember you running around at the games and being over there in the grass and driving us all crazy, right? Like the rest of the little young people do, throwing the football and having fun. But tell us a little bit about just your brief encounter experience in those things.
Just as far as in like picking a school, I think my father was trying to go in a different direction at that point. He was able to watch Ern go through it and do great things from it. But I think he wanted me to have a better education at the time. So we were looking at schools outside of the city, like Reynoldsburg, Royal Harvest, I was also thought I was be a basketball player as well.
Yeah. Well, y'all hoop. That's why I called y'all athletes. Y'all hoop. So we're going to get to that.
So
y'all
we
hoop.
ain't just football players.
Yeah. We're going to definitely get to that.
So I think my dad was looking around. Going to schools, talking to different coaches. And I think Coach Maddox, Coach Bates, and Coach Trey reached out to my dad. Yeah. Was kind of like, just telling him like, man, we need him at Ridge.
Yeah.
His brother went there.
Certainly.
That's the family. That's
right.
The family. So,
right.
My dad ended up agreeing with it.
Yeah.
He made sure I stayed on my grades and all that. But he let me go there.
Yeah.
And I had huge shoes to fill.
Certainly.
And how he said, like, when he got there, he was like, it felt like home. I had to make it my home once I got there because, I'm Ernie's little brother.
No doubt. No. Well, and let's share this, right? Like, before we get too deep in this discussion, like, y'all's pops is my dude, man. Y'all know that, man. Like, we got each other's phone numbers, man. Like, he'd call me up, he'd shoot me a text and be like, hey, man, so we chop it up. For all the parents that are listening right now, if you want your children to go to college, to be positive young people, to grow up like Ernie and Rob Wheelwright, you have to be involved in their life, right? And your dad was always there. Even when I was your teacher, I'll give him a call whenever you was, when you was too wormy in class. He like, hey, Mr. Colonel, do I need to come on up there? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like, and he would show up. Yes, indeed. He would show up, man. Like, you know what I mean? And he was always supportive of you all's lives, man. Me and him have a lot of deep, long conversations, man. So I can only imagine how blessed you two are. But he's my guy, right? So he deserves his fair seat at the table of this discussion. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because
definitely deserves his flowers.
Yeah. I mean, he's been an integral role, at least from what I've seen. But now, so here, before we get into the accolades and stuff, right? We talking family. So for those of us that know you close, and maybe those that have hopped on the internet, your grandfather, right, was a bad football player. He's a bad dude, right? Just in general, all around. He's a Central High graduate. So for all you Columbus folks who got the Central blood in you going to Pirates, right? He's a Central High graduate, but his nickname was Wheels. Now, here's what I'm trying to figure out. How is it you two dudes, never one of y'all got Wheels, man? Like, neither one of y'all ever became nicknamed Wheels?
Not initially. I think people call me Rob Wheels.
Yeah, I know they call you Rob Wheels, but you ain't Wheels though. I never known you. Yeah, like he dominated that. That's how bad that dude was,
that's
man.
How bad he was.
Started.
He was like that. Yeah, he started. Yeah, he's the OG.
The OG. I love it, man. Wheels. That's what I read that. I said I done known these dudes almost their whole life, man. I ain't never heard either one of y'all get called Wheels, man.
Wheels, nah.
Yeah,
it might be like maybe one or two people that might be like Wheels when they see me.
Okay.
Wheels.
Okay. But in general,
that's not my nickname.
That's not
what
nickname.
people call me. Is Wheels.
The nickname,
Yeah. So in the Wheelwright household, Grandpa owns Wheels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hands down.
Hands down.
Yeah. Okay. Because I had to clear the air on that before. I got to figure out how is it neither one of these dudes was able to gravitate to the nickname Wheels.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So he owns it.
Yeah. So now let's go here for a moment. Both of you, like I said, hands. For those that don't know, you two were some of the best wide receivers that we've had in Central Ohio in the last 20, 30 years. I mean, like, y'all just put on showcases. I remember coming to a lot of games and, I would be watching. I say, well, you know what? At the end of the day, man, they got Rob, they got Ern, but, whichever one of you I was watching, I'm like, well, one of them going to make a play. Even if you down, you know what I mean? They'll make a play at some point, and you made lots of them. But I want each of you to share with me. We'll start with young fella here today. Share with me a memory from high school, a play that just stands out to you that you remember where you was like, yeah, that was that play right there.
I think it was against...
I hope you say the same one I'm thinking too. I really do.
I would probably say against my senior year, first Independence.
Oh, yes. Come on, please. Please share it. Please.
It was... So I think I scored. I think we were losing at like halftime, like 28.
This is at Independence.
At Independence,
come on, yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed.
They had a bunch of seniors. We had a bunch of seniors.
We did not cue this up, listeners. This is the same amazing game I saw. Go ahead, man.
At halftime, we lose and we come back. It starts raining. It's pouring down rain, and I think the second half I might have had like 4 touchdowns. And I think the play that.
I'm laughing because I was at this game and it was amazing.
I think I ran like a hitch and go on the sideline. It was a deep ball, and I'm talking about it's pouring rain.
Yeah.
Like no gloves.
Yeah.
I catch the ball running in the end zone. We end up coming back and winning the game.
Yes, indeed.
It was probably one of my best games. It was my last game and my favorite game of like all times for myself. So I would say the entire game was probably my favorite part of high school.
Yeah, hey, look, and so for our listeners right now, Ern is sitting here like a proud older brother would, right, smiling, listening to this game here. But like I was at that game. I remember I got there maybe in the second quarter. And, I go in, people are talking, the normal stuff we do at football games, right? And just having fun. It's just, our football games are supposed to be a fun atmosphere, regardless of what's going on the field. Everyone should be enjoying themselves, right? It's not that level of competition that we got to dislike each other. But being a Ridge guy and then the role I was in, I'm watching the game and the Independence guys are digging into me. They're digging into me at halftime. I said, well, I got a feeling Rob's gonna make some plays in the second half. Hey man, dude, he went off.
He turned it on.
I don't know what coach said to you at halftime, but whatever they said, it worked. You went and exploded on these dudes, and I'm sitting there looking at them like, well, I told y'all that, I told you this was coming, and it was that type of game. So, Ern, let's turn to you, man. Like, what's one of your games that you remember, man?
Man, I would have to say my senior year, man. I went against one of the best football players in the city that year, and it was especially DB was Dominic Jones.
Oh yeah,
Brookhaven.
Yes, indeed.
So we played them in the playoffs at Westerville North, and we played them earlier that year, and they beat us.
Yeah,
they beat us. So the talk around the town was they was the best in the city.
Right.
And they locked Ern Wheelwright up. So you got to hear that. And we kind of took it personal. We had a great team that year too.
Yeah,
amazing team. So
name some of the guys that was with you, man.
Yeah. So we had Charles Jefferson,
Big Charles,
basketball coach at Walnut Ridge right now, played deeply, played the other receiver. We had Mike Jones, the quarterback.
Yeah.
We also had Gary Russell at running back, legend, Columbus legend.
Yeah.
We had Terrell Howe at linebacker. Man, we was stacked.
Charles Grandjean, come on, big Charles Grandjean, man. That was my guy, man.
He was an All-American, man. All-American lineman, man.
Yes,
so
indeed.
We literally had maybe 28 players.
Yeah, y'all were stacked, man.
Yeah, at least 10 of us played both ways, and we had basketball players.
Right.
So, we came to play, and so we meet them in the playoffs, and it's a tight game. I'm talking about it's tight. This is probably the hardest high school football game I ever had to play.
Nice.
And they called it Ridge pass, but they call it throw it up to Ernie.
Yes, indeed.
Fake Gary and throw it to Ernie.
Yeah.
And it's a play action, and I run the post. So I ran the post across the field. Mike Jones tosses it up. Yeah. And all I see is the ball was overthrown. So I take off running, and I jump behind like maybe 4 or 5 guys.
Nice.
Jump over top of them, catch it up the sideline, and go for 80.
Go to the house.
Go for 80, yeah.
Go to the house.
And it was just, and like I said, it was a tough game. So me making that play, it was kind of that monkey off my back because I'm facing one of the best DBs.
Yeah.
So I probably faced my whole entire life, and he was only in high school. So, and like I said, it was tough the whole game, and we ended up winning 13-14.
That's right.
With that touchdown, being the game
over the top,
being the game winner.
Well, and let me share with our listeners why I like for guys to get a chance, or guests to get a chance to relive these things, because it's just healthy for your soul. It's nice to be able to talk about it, right? Like, because we don't get a platform every day to share our stories. We don't get a platform every day to talk about it. And I know for some of our listeners, that was heavy DNA football. But now what I want you to understand, listeners, is that there's a lot of hard work that goes into making those plays. Those things don't just happen by accident, right? And you all have always put in the work. You've always been athletes. Before we get into your collegiate, career and all those types of things, man, like we shared, you didn't just play football. You all hooped. Y'all were running track. So what was the expectation in the Wheelwright household? Was there that level of being involved and doing things, or what made y'all just keep, like, every time I looked up, y'all were involved? So where does that come from, or is that just what goes on in your home?
I think.
Hey, hold on, Ern. Hey, I just want to share, like Rob just now was about to respond, but he glanced over to you to see, like, okay, can I go first, big bruh? So he gave that little look just now.
Go ahead, Rob. You got it.
I think our household was just competitive. So I think us just growing up.
Are you the youngest?
No, I have one younger brother.
That's right. Okay.
I got one younger brother, and then of course I got Ern and Mike. I think just growing up, we were just always competitive. Whether that was with a video game,
right?
Whether it's that who can run up the steps the fastest, who can get to the car the fastest, and just looking up to your older brothers, you just kind of want to be better than them.
Okay.
So I think that's always had us wanting to do more.
Yeah.
And be overachievers. Whether that was like with basketball. I want to be a better player than him.
Right.
I like saying it.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, of course.
But of course, you got to put the work in.
Right.
Me saying it is different, but me actually working hard to be better than him. Yeah. That's what I was trying to do, and I think we all kind of felt that way.
Nice. What you think? What you think, Ern?
Yeah, man, definitely, man. Like just piggyback off of Rob, man. Just having that older brother like Mike going to Centennial and then playing at Ohio Dominican. Like I said, that's the first person I seen go to college. So I didn't care about what college. I wanted to go to Ohio Dominican and hoop because that's where my older brother hooped. Right. I wanted to be a baller just like him.
Yeah, so
it was just in the household. Dad, even on video games, my dad, beat us up on the Fisher Price basketball court.
Yeah.
Video games. So we just was competitive. Like Rob said, it wasn't that competitive where I don't like my brother. It's just I just want to be better than him.
Of course.
I want to prove my worth in this family where it's just like, we got big shoes to fill.
100%.
Like I told Rob, I had to go behind Granddad and Mike, where it's like, oh, you Will's grandson or you Mike's little brother, to the point where it's like, okay, oh, they see Mike now as, oh, you Ern's big brother,
right?
And they do Rob the same way. When Rob first got the Ridge, oh, you Ern's little brother. Now when they see me, they be like, oh, you Rob's big brother.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Just to change that narrative is like. Mike always said the next generation got to be better or you didn't do your job.
Yeah. I love it, man, because like I said, for as long as I've known you all, man, and going back to your brother, you all have had that competitive spirit, man, of wanting to do better, strive to do more, whether in every facet of your life. And so now we'll kind of go back to football for a moment. Both of you go off, you leave Walnut Ridge, great careers, and we could spend just a whole show. Like we could do multiple shows just on Walnut Ridge games and football and fun and all those things that you've done there. But then you both go off, and I want to make sure we get listeners an opportunity to hear. You go off, both of you attend Big Ten schools, and you're playing football. Ern, you go off to Minnesota. Rob, you go off to Wisconsin a few years later, right? And so you both have your own niche while you're there. So Ern, like while you was at Minnesota, you was balling, right? Like, I mean, you was, and I remember being back home watching, man, like just sharing with family and friends, like that's my guy, right? Like, look at him doing his thing. And so, you're at Minnesota. What were those memories like for you? How was it being at Minnesota? Just share with us what comes to your mind.
Man, it was the best thing that happened to me, just getting me out of the city and learning how to grow up. I became a man at the University of Minnesota. I left Columbus and Ridge a boy, and then just being up there, being around some other guys that were actually there from Eastmore, Justin Valentine, Jermaine Banks. We also had Danny Upchurch up there at the time. So there was a lot of guys that were there that were from the area. Okay. And it kind of, once again, that gave me that Walnut Ridge feeling where it felt like home. And this is where, I want to be, and this is where I'm loved. And, what I'm saying? You get that pride where it's like, all right, man, it's time to grow up. It's time, time to put your big boy shoes on and get to stepping. So it was definitely one of those experiences where it's like, man, it changed my life completely, man.
Right. Okay. So we won't get into all the stats and stuff quite yet. But I read a piece about you all both going off for school, and like you shared about growing up and being in that space. So then, Rob, when it came to you to make your choice and your selection, you end up at Wisconsin. So share a little bit about how you get there, that whole process, and just what was the experience like for you in general.
The process was, I kind of knew my top schools like early on, like my sophomore year. And Wisconsin was like it was my first offer.
Okay.
So they was always on me throughout my entire high school career. So when it came time to make that decision, I knew like Wisconsin would probably be the spot I go to.
Right. Okay.
Just getting there, it was tough. Wisconsin is a really, really hard school to get into.
Okay.
I actually had to write a letter to the dean.
I had to write a letter to the dean. Parents, come on, listen in, parents.
I had to write a letter to the dean.
Parents, turn the volume up on your radio.
I had to write a letter to the dean explaining why I should be at this school. My IQ might have been like a 3.1.
Okay.
And that was kind of low.
Dad.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
That was kind of low for Wisconsin. So I think I missed the first week of practice.
Okay.
Trying to just get admitted to the school and stuff. But once I got there, just to piggyback off what he was saying, it grow you up.
Yeah.
I had my times where I'm calling my mom like, I'm tired. I'm
ready
to come home.
Right, yeah.
But
that's everybody's first experience, man. It just for also another nod to parents, right? When your kid goes off to college, they call the first month, 2 months, 3 months. My daughter calling every day, right? And I'm like, baby, go ahead and do school. You be okay. We right here. You know what I mean? The nest is still here waiting for you.
Nah, but I would just say that experience was tremendous. The brotherhood that I built with the players, my teammates, are still going to this day.
Nice.
Some of me and my teammates are like super close. We still talk. We still take trips together.
Okay.
People are getting married. People are having families and stuff. So it's good to still experience that with them.
Certainly. Well, so now, like just some simple stuff for a moment. And Rob, we're gonna stay with you for a second. I was reading an article, and the article was talking about how you were Ern's younger brother, Big Ten player. And you're still searching for that first receiving touchdown. And then the first, look, and for our listeners, you can't see Ern's face right now, but Ern knows where this is going right now. So Rob, tell everyone, now you all didn't play in college at the same time,
nope.
Right? But obviously Wisconsin and Minnesota play each other for our Big Ten listeners. And now
so just to give you a piggyback, it's their biggest rival.
Oh yes, and yeah. So it would be
that don't know it's Ohio State and Michigan. But Wisconsin and Minnesota, that's how deep the rivalry is.
Certainly. Yep. Okay, so this is that game, right? This is that game.
One of the reasons why I went to Wisconsin.
Yeah. So this is that game, and you haven't found your way in the house yet for that first receiving touchdown before that game. So tell us what happens. You describe that moment for everybody, man.
I'll take y'all back. Okay, so this is my sophomore year. Before the season started, I had a hamstring injury. I was starting, so the whole season I was just trying to get back. My hamstring.
Okay.
My hamstrings can be lingering.
Yeah.
So I started getting back in the mix, and I started playing. No catches. No targets. I'm just out there blocking.
Yeah.
Running routes, cardio.
Miserable at that point.
Yeah,
to some degree, because when you're a receiver, you need some looks to keep the energy going.
I think it was the play before one of our receivers caught a screen. He ran. I think they tackled him out of bounds. He kind of got up stumbling.
Yeah.
So my coach was looking, Wheelwright.
Yeah.
So I run in. I'm like, man, it's probably about to be a run play. And they called, I forget what it's called. It might have been called pole.
Okay.
And I got a corner post.
Okay.
And
a lot of football talk. You listeners keep tuning.
I got a corner post.
Yeah.
They sending me in motion. But in my head, like my heart pounding. This is a close game. It might have been
and it's that game.
It was the third quarter.
No, it was close.
It was fourth quarter. It's fourth quarter. I'm a sophomore. And literally I remember him saying go. And that's all I remember. Yeah. I just remember him saying go. And now I'm in the touchdown celebrating. I didn't even celebrate with anybody on the field. I celebrate with all my friends on the sideline, all my dogs that ain't got in the game, ain't got no stats yet. I'm celebrating with them. But it was just a great experience. And for that to be my first touchdown and for us to win that game, a big rival game.
Certainly.
We got the trophy axe, and to call him after the game. And, he's excited, but he's upset.
100%. You know what I mean? So like that, but that speaks to the level of brotherhood that you two have, man. I look and I see your family, right? So now you're going to get an outside perspective, right? The energy that flows through your family, like you can see, even if you don't really know you, like y'all's bond and connection is really tight, right? And it speaks to what's been instilled in your home and those things. And here you sit and you say, one of my first phone calls is to my big brother, right? Because I want to share in this experience with him. Even if you tongue in cheek jabbing at him, right? You still want to share in the experience. So now here you all are, you're men, and you're both in a space where you're doing things, where you're helping young people, like someone helped you, right? You know what I mean? A long time ago. I hope that even for me, like as I look at both of you, I hope that I played some little part in your journey. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But I see you two as brothers. So share with me, share with our listeners, like now you're men and your relationship starts to change. Ernie, you got kids. We were talking about Uncle Rob here and those things. So now you're in this space. How do you see your relationship now? Because we got also listeners who are adults who need some healing and some listening. And you two are some of the best. So share with me about that relationship.
So, man, and this, it may sound cliche, but, man, he's like my best friend now. Like, you know, growing up, he was that annoying little brother who wanted to follow you everywhere and go out and hang. Like, bro, you can't hang, bro. You too young. Yeah. But now, man, I talk to him every day. Now I want to hang out with him.
Okay.
I want to hang out. I'm the old man.
Yeah.
Go hang out
with young. And then also real quick, like I was looking at something, like Rob is like this fashion dude or something too, man. Like every time I see him, this dude dressed up or something. He always got something fly on. You know what I mean? So like for those, So for those that don't know him, man, if you need some fashion tips, man, go check out this Rob dude, man. He wearing something out there. You know what I mean? A new jacket, a vest, some jeans. I don't know what it is, man. But yeah, go ahead. So I'm sorry, man. You guys are good friends now.
No, you're right. Yeah, man. We talk every day. We honestly do. You know, I call and we talk every day. If it's football, just life situations, you know. I never try to be like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. I just give him my opinion.
Certainly.
And majority of the time, you know, sometimes he's a knucklehead and he's still a little brother. And those are the life lessons he's got to learn just growing up, just like I did. You know, pops or older brother tell me something, I'm going to do it my way. And then he's going to be like, you know what, you're right. You know what I'm saying? So he takes heed to a lot of the things that I say, and he apply them to his life, man. And I think it's great. And that bonds our friendship. Like I said, he's like one of my best friends. I can call him about anything and we talk, you know what I'm saying? Even if I got a vent about personal stuff that's going on in my life, he's that ear to listen.
Certainly. And let me share with you, right? So like, this is a direct piece for everybody, right? Whether you're a high school student listening, a parent, just somebody who's out there in the world, you got to have somebody like that you can just pick up the phone, vent, share all your information, whatever it may be, somebody you can trust, and then you hang up the phone and know it's not going anywhere. They're not judging you. You know what I mean? There's no judgment there. So Rob, you tell us then, right? So you all are, you just heard what Big Bro said. I mean, now you share with me your sights on y'all's brotherhood.
I think like he said, we're very close.
Okay.
We've always been close. I always probably younger, I wanted to be closer.
Yeah.
Because it's my big brother. You know, I looked up to him. He was my role model. So, you know, I wanted to follow in his footsteps. But now, like, we get to talk about grown man conversations.
Certainly.
You know what I'm saying? So I think I lean on him. You know, I got to get to where he's at. He got a wife. He got kids. You know, he's doing the things that I want to do eventually. So, you know, anything that I need, whether that's advice, whether that's about family, relationships, financial. Like, you know, I can call him and I'm sure he's going to give me his best opinion on it.
Hey, look, so I think what's amazing, and one of the things we didn't get a chance to do, because I'm big on this on our show, right? I'm big on people getting shout outs because I believe people's names deserve to get shared out into the universe. So Rob, give a shout out to Pops, but say Pops' name, say his name when you give a shout out, man. Give a shout out to your dad.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Big Ern. Most of my friends, family, people who don't know Big Ern, I want to give a shout out to Big Ern. He is the reason that I feel like for both of us to be able to do what we do. To be able to,
you getting a little teary over there? Are you
not teary, but I feel it though. I feel emotional about it because my dad has really.
I can see it, listeners.
He has really changed his life around.
He got a little juicy over here on us, man.
He has really changed his life around to raise, 4 grown men.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's been in our life through our entire time, and he's continued to be in our life.
And I'm going to piggyback because he's Big Ern to a lot of us.
Big Ern to a lot.
I mean, you know what I mean? It ain't just, like you two were lucky enough to be in the house every day. But I can share openly, like I had some times where I called him up and said, hey, man, let me just bend your ear. Tell me what you seeing from a parent of Columbus City Schools. Tell me what you're seeing of raising kids. And he's always been willing to let me bend his ear and then give me some of his time. Time is an important thing out here. You know what I mean? But Ern, so here's where we go with you. You got to give a shout out to your better half. So give a shout out to your wife. Give her some love here on the show. And then we're going to start to wrap it up here today.
Yeah, I like to definitely give a shout out to my wife, Jasmine Wheelwright. You know, she's been so amazing. I actually just texted her that today, like how blessed I am, because she's one of those people who, when I tell her I have a dream, she's going to make sure everything is possible and everything is set at my house.
Shout out to sis. Shout out to sis.
Man. Yeah, she definitely shout out. So she has set everything up to make everything easy for me, especially with this coaching stuff. You know, Coach Claire, especially with coaching, it takes a lot of your time away from your kids and away from the wife. So she makes a lot of sacrifices in this house, man. And I try to give her flowers every day by, putting up with my late hours, coming in late. And she making, me trying to help out. I ain't the best around the house helping out with the girls. And she'll let me know, like, hey, you need to tap in and help me with some of this stuff. But majority of the time, man, she's making my life so much easier, much easier.
Well, let me share this for our listeners also. I remember when you came up to Columbus and she was with you. And you may not remember this, and you said to me, we were talking, and you said, she's going to be my wife. That was before before you had even proposed. You said, she's going to be my wife. Yeah. I said, man, how you know? You said, I know. I remember us talking about that, man. You said, I know, man.
We was at the game.
We was at the game. So it's beautiful that you all have found that space. We have so much more to talk about. I got to find a way. I'm talking to the producers right now when I say this. We got to find a way. I got to find a way. We got to get y'all back on the show, because what we haven't had a chance to really delve into are the things that you're doing now as men, giving back your coaches. And I'll say it quickly. Ern, you're down in Atlanta. For everybody who's who doesn't know, you're in Atlanta. You're coaching at a high school, and you're helping give a part of your DNA to another generation of young people. Rob is up here, everybody who doesn't know. He's with Big Brother Mike over at East High School. They're coaching football. They're doing amazing things up here at East High School, and they're helping turn that program around and having a very fun season this year. You two are phenomenal dudes, man. Your family is a phenomenal group of people. I love y'all dudes, man. Y'all know that, man. I hope the love is mutual. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
And I appreciate you all carving out some time to be on the show with us here today. We'll find a way to do it again. You know what I mean? Like, we'll find a way. We'll do it again. We'll get you guys on here. We'll talk more wheelwrights. We'll talk about wheels. And then maybe, you know what I mean? Like, maybe at some point somebody else becomes wheels, right? But we'll talk those things and have some fun. I got to read an outro. And then we're going to get out of here, man. But I appreciate you being on the show today.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Can I give you your flowers too, Claire? No, because I don't know if you remember, man. Like you said, I was a freshman, man, and I never forget. Like you said, sometimes we get a little wild, and we was a little wild at Walnut Ridge. But I remember you pulling me to the side, man, right before basketball season, and you got on me, man, and you told me, man, that was one of the things and one of those conversations as a kid that you never forget. You know, and I don't want to tell the crowd what we talked about, but it was one of those big bro conversations. Yeah. Like, hey, man. Yeah. Like, hey, get it together. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can really make a change around here. Yeah. And I'll never forget that. We were sitting right at the gym door, man. And you definitely changed. You definitely helped mold me into the grown man I am today, just by, watching you and having those conversations. So I definitely want to give you your flowers, man. And I love everything you're doing with this, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. One of the things, man, that on this show, I never share those stories unless the guest shares it, because I don't know if you want, you know what I mean, like that was me and you, and that was so. If you comfortable, I do remember that, man, because you had some points where I was like, hey, look, I'm gonna have to put you in a headlock, dude, because but listen, parents, real quickly here, when your kid gets into high school, 9th grade, they're trying to figure the whole world out, and so sometimes, man, you're lucky enough to have. I hope for me, like as a teacher, somebody who cared, man, I cared about you guys when I was there and still care about you to this day, man. You know, y'all both know y'all can call me. You know what I mean? Y'all know that. So that's not of today's topic, but yeah, so I appreciate you sharing that, man, because the love is mutual here for us as well. So I got to read this outro, get us out of here. And then we'll figure out a way, man, to bring another chapter of the Wheelwrights into this fold somehow, right? Definitely. Maybe we get some hoop going and we'll talk, because y'all had some big hoop plays too, man. Y'all had fun, man. Y'all were fun to watch in high school. So much respect to both of you. Wheelwrights in the house, Ernie and Rob. but we've talked about the whole family. Be sure to listen to all future episodes on Radio WCBE 90.5 FM. Also catch us on Spotify, Apple, or the platform you prefer to listen to your favorite podcast. Additionally, follow us on Instagram at City League Sports 614. Until next time, I'm your host, Vince Clarino, and this is City League Sports.